Stars are out tonight in Romeoville as the elite amateurs take on the pros in the inaugural Bowlero Elite Series. To some, Chicago is the second city, but Chi-Town sports have a long history of finishing first. Ditka's Bears shuffled their way to the Super Bowl. The Blackhawks have sipped from Lord Stanley's Cup 6 times. The Cubs and their Southside rivals have each won 3 World Series titles. And his airness drove the Bulls down the lane to 6 championships. But tonight, a different lane will be the stage for one person to join the Windy City's pantheon of champions. Bowling's elite amateurs will square off against the game's top pros in the first ever Bowlero Elite Series championship. Welcome inside Bowlero, Romeoville, outside of Chicago in Romeoville, Illinois, for the first of 3 tournaments in the Bowlero Elite Series. This is a special event where 8 professionals face 8 amateurs, and I am Layla Rahimi, joined by a Hall of Famer and an amateur bowler himself, Jerome Bettis. Jerome, this is an exciting event, and when you understand being a professional athlete and an amateur bowler, you know it is not as easy as it looks. It
is not as easy as it looks, and I think sometimes we take it for granted watching these professionals on television and say, oh, I could go out there and do it, but these guys, they work at it, they perfect their craft, and they're great at what they do.
Bowling is a big part of your life, something you've done since you were 7 years old. Tell me how you got involved and why it's been so important to you.
Well, I was blessed to have my mother introduce myself and my older sister to the game at 7 years old. Fell in love with it, started to bowl, but then had to make a decision at 14 about whether I was going to continue to bowl or was I going to try to play football, because the goal was to get to college. There wasn't enough scholarship money in bowling, so I decided to go in the football direction. You know, I went against my heart, but it was the right decision ultimately. But still have a love affair with bowling, and it's in my DNA.
Now, you've said that it's harder to bowl a 300 than it is to win a Super Bowl. How do you explain that?
A lot of people will say, oh, he's crazy for saying that, but what you have to understand is it's so hard to roll a 300 game. You've got the crowd, the environment, everybody's excited for you, and you still have to go out there and get it done. In the NFL, in football, all you have to do is have your teammates help you. You don't have to play your best game in order to win a championship, but you do in bowling to get that 300.
You mentioned the championship, and the details of this event include a lot of money if you do win. More than $1 million over these 3 tournaments, but in this one alone, the total prize money is over $500,000. The winner taking home $270,000, and the runner-up $80,000. These are the pros who got to this side, and you can see the bracket format. 8 of some of the best bowlers in the world, Jerome, going head-to-head to face the best amateur on the other side.
And I tell you what, if this was, if I was in this situation, I would love it. As an amateur, I would love to be in this format. Unfortunately, I can't do it.
You're talking about some significant money on the line, not just for the amateurs, but for the pros as well. Some of the best in the world have come to this event. Now let's go to the rest of our announce team, Chris and Todd.
Thank you, Layla, here with PBA Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. Chris, you've been in this situation before as a top-flight amateur and a top-flight pro. What would your advice be to the amateurs coming into the setting?
Well, really, all the expectations are on the pros, so the amateurs are playing on house money and use that to their advantage. But this is a new environment for everybody, but for the amateurs especially. The bright lights, everything's ramped up a little bit, the heart's running. You know, don't forget to breathe, settle down a little bit, and play to your strengths.
You talk about the money here. This is life-changing money for the amateurs coming in, picking up a large paycheck. So as they step out there with one more opportunity to take that, what's your last bit of advice to them?
Man, it's really to put that all away and keep it simple. At the end of the game, the lane's still 60 feet. Your target's still 15 feet away. Walk up there and do what you've done all the time to get here.
Might be easier said than done. Let's take a look at the brackets as we see what the amateurs have done so far. As we said, 8 terrific amateurs making their way here to Romeoville, and we are now down to the final 2 who will match off for the right to face off against a pro.
Coming here has been a dream come true.
At 60 years old, who would believe I'd be here competing against these youngsters?
It's amazing. It's an awesome opportunity to be here. Excited. Just to be picked is an honor.
Being able to represent my hometown in this event is it's just something that's really awesome.
Bowling's been part of my family for probably a couple decades, starting with our father, Guppy, and then present with my brother, Kyle, and then hopefully in the future with me.
Bowling has helped me personally, and it helped me really come out of my shell, become a little more confident.
I'm definitely very intense.
Let's go!
I still run shots out, I cheer. I'm very energetic in the lanes.
I like being the guy that everybody's like, they either hate me or they love me.
Winning this Bowlero Elite Series would open up doors for me.
There's a great chance to make some good money here, but you can't get to the money without executing properly. And don't tell anybody I'm going to win.
What a great event this is so far at the inaugural Bowlero Elite Series. And let's talk to our two amateurs who have made the semifinals, starting with Luis Gonzalez right here from the Chicagoland area. $270,000 on the line. What would that mean to you?
It would mean a lot. I mean, hopefully get a house. I mean, hopefully support my family some more. And it just mean a lot more just having my family here with me watching. And hopefully I can just take it home.
Luis, good luck. And now TJ Van Gordon, you've set up bleachers like the ones that are on this set. Bowling is a part of your life. What's it like being on the other side, being the bowler to watch?
It's a lot harder being right here in this moment right now. I woke up this morning feeling very nauseous, but I've made it through, and $270,000, man, changed my life. That's all I got. I just want to bowl. That's it.
I don't blame you one bit. Good luck to you guys both. Now let's go to Michael C. Williams for introductions.
And now the amateurs are set for their semifinal round. Introducing first, leading off the day with a score of 276, still the second highest score on the day. Please welcome from Chicago, Illinois, Luis Gonzalez. Coming in with a 219 average in scoring, 223 and 245 en route to the semis from Hamilton, New Jersey, TJ Van Gordon.
If any of our players bowls a perfect game tonight, they'll be taking home $1 million courtesy of Lagunitas Brewing Company. Life is uncertain. Don't sip. As we get set to go here, the semifinal featuring both of our amateurs. Both of them are Bowlero League bowlers. As you take a look at this, guys, we talked about this, the perfect 300 game. So Luis Gonzalez will be facing off against TJ Van Gordon. And Gonzalez will get things started off. Young man out of nearby River Grove, Chicago.
Pretty good opening shot. This first time under the lights. That
is.
first one tends to get down there in a hurry.
And I know as an amateur that the first ball is always that nervous jitter ball. You want to make sure you just get in the pocket, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, they're both high-speed, high rev rate players. These guys' strike ball are no joke.
So he cleans that up nicely.
That was pretty good. For a lefty, that 7-pin has to be pretty difficult to
That
hit.
first spare on any TV show, that lane goes from 60 feet to about 84.
Yes, it does.
So the pride of Hamilton, New Jersey. Next up, 31-year-old TJ Van Gordon. And this guy...
Relief. I can tell you that much.
See this reaction, a little slap off. It's just one. He's still got his eye on the prize.
He is, right. He's got a shot. He's got a shot.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I tell you.
Stone 10.
Getting tapped all over the place. Unbelievable.
First one was a little quick. Got down there in a hurry, and head pin came back across in front of the 7-pin. That one there, that's super high flush.
You just got to settle in, you know. Still early in the match.
Man, like the first frame, cleans it up nicely for a spare. And I agree with you, Jerome. It's early in the match. He cannot get down on himself.
He just got to take a deep breath, get back in, put one right in the pocket, and let whatever happens, happens.
Well, we're settling down in a hurry. Is a little help here from TJ,
Exactly.
So he's only down by a pin.
Right.
Oh, TJ, he's feeling it early, boys.
Looks good. Looks good.
He has been wound tight as a drum this whole day. From the moment he woke up, said he couldn't eat. He was wound up about this whole thing. Posted that one up nice.
Nice and smooth. And he's one of those guys. He said, either you're going to love me or you're going to hate me because of the way that he's animated. Oh, goodness.
Wow.
I mean, Chris, you've been around a lot of tournaments in your life. Have you seen someone have a worse start as he goes 7-10 in the third frame?
Well, considering all three shots are high-quality shots,
yes,
all three of them you would take, especially in your first shots on TV. This is as brutal a beginning as you can ask for.
And as an amateur, you get a little nervous at this point.
The tendency now will be to try and be perfect.
Yeah, and you're starting to feel the match getting away from you. So you say to yourself, "Come on, I gotta make
Start
something
pressing
happen."
a bit.
You tend to press a little bit. And he's just gotta. He hits him. He hit the pocket every single time. He did what he was supposed to do. Didn't happen for him, so he just can't lose that focus.
So an open frame for Gonzalez in the third, and T.J. Van Gordon has been perfect thus far. Oh. So the announcer jinxed the $1 million off the line for these two. Folks at Lagunitas will keep a little extra change here.
Oh,
that's a tough one right there, isn't it?
If it could fell forward,
yeah.
Give me a chance.
You get a break like that in the middle of one of these,
you
start really thinking about it then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So TJ, after a great start in the first two frames, I'll say he faltered in the third, guys. He cleaned it up nicely with that spare. And now the attention on to Luis Gonzalez, and a great opportunity for him now to try to grab some momentum back that Van Gordon has held.
He's got to get back in the match.
There you go.
There we go. Big relief. He's like, whew.
Off the schneid there. This wasn't even his best shot. It might have been his third or fourth best one, but it's the first one that struck, and that will get him a little bit loose. Whole family there. This guy's life is centered around his family. And
there you go.
And his family centers around bowling.
That's right.
His wife on the left. Been with him all week long here as he prepares for this opportunity. Now into the semifinals for the amateurs.
Got it out there.
Well, this will tighten things back up a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got a 19-pin lead if he makes it, but now Lewis is on a strike, and now all of a sudden there's a little glimmer of hope.
It is, and it's not the easiest
no.
Spear to pick up.
This is probably 5-1.
Yeah.
At best.
See if he hits it. Oh! Wow! Impressive.
Don't doubt TJ.
Wow.
That's the reverse announcer's jinx right there.
Yeah.
Played it perfectly, didn't he, Chris?
Yes, he did.
You can't draw it up any better.
Yeah.
Straight up into the, just decapitated the 10.
Yes, it did. He's got to be excited about that one, I'll tell you. Oh, there it you're starting to see the competitive side. I'm saying, okay.
Is this danger time for TJ, though? It's kind of like Steph Curry hitting two threes back-to-back?
The whole momentum thing is flipped completely upside down in 2 shots.
It has.
It was all on top of Lewis there after the 3rd frame, and now going into the commercial break, TJ needs to have a big shot here and get the ship right.
He does. He really does. Whoa. He did everything he was supposed to do.
Yeah. Watch the 4-pin go to the wall there. 3rd one goes right behind it. The head pin backs off the wall.
Oh, just
missed it by less than an inch. Rolls in front of it.
Unbelievable.
9 times out of 10, it hits it.
Oh, there we go.
Nice English on that. TJ Van Gordon trying to get the mojo back that he had in the first 2 frames. We'll be back to Romeoville. Much more. The Bowlero Elite Series on NBCSN.
We here now. Vision's clear now. And it's my time. And it's near now. And I'm too strong.
So what's it gonna be tonight? Be the crew that rolls deep. Be Lord of the Lanes. Be your alter ego. Be unfiltered. Be a strike dance machine. Be that guy. Be ballsy. Be 12 pounds of fury. Be superstitious. Be granny style. Be any style. Hey, it's your night. Be bold.
This is the pregame production meeting, just like they do it in the NFL. And Jerome, I don't know how you ordered this thing or how they even delivered it or how they gave you that big of a knife, but you went after it, my man.
Well, it said behemoth burger. I didn't know it was that big. But you know what? When you order it, you got to at least try it.
Yeah.
You guys weren't willing to try it.
Wrong.
You got to be willing to get your hands dirty a little bit sometimes.
You asked for a to-go box, but I don't know what TSA would say if you go through the airport with a behemoth in the to-go box. The Bowlero Centers number more than 300 locations nationwide, and you're always within striking distance of an epic night out of family fun. From arcades to birthday parties or corporate events to league play, find a center near you at Bowlero.com. Go to Bowlero.com and book your party online in minutes. Back to the action here in the amateur semifinal. One of these players will be moving on to play a pro in the final, and the opportunity for $270,000. Guys, it's go time now for Luis Gonzalez. And he answers.
And he is in rhythm now.
Yeah.
You know.
Chris off to a slow start, but he certainly has answered back in the last 3 frames.
Well, since the beginning of practice, this guy looked like the man to beat on the amateur side, and now he's starting to get into rhythm. Often the hardest shot to make is that first one out of the commercial break. Yeah. Hard to throw it better than that.
TJ not comfortable, and if you're not comfortable, do not let it go. I'll tell you.
Evidently, you can balk in bowling. Although no one will be taking a base tonight.
So now TJ Van Gordon trying to answer back. Off to a hot start. It leaves the 10, Chris, standing. So he's found himself a little bit in the mud. Just can't get back into that rhythm he had in the first 3 frames.
Yeah, the last 3 shots, actually last 4 shots, have all gone just a little bit light.
Yep.
His speed's pretty high, but he may have to move his feet just a little bit further right to get that ball higher up in the pocket or slow his speed down. But I don't think, as high energy as he runs,
right.
I don't think slowing down is the answer.
Yeah. Happy about that spare.
He's got to make a minor adjustment, some type of adjustment. Yeah, there he is.
He knew it as soon as it left his hand.
There it is. He's got to get back. He's got to get some strikes going. Starting to slip away from him.
Lewis with a 3-pin advantage, chance to move it up to 13 here with a strike.
Jerome, is that sweet or what?
It's so sweet, and that was a pivotal moment in the match. It's one of those where if you can get that strike, now you can breathe a little bit. You say, you know what? I think I'm in control of this match.
What a difference 5 frames makes.
Yeah, exactly. You guys hit it right on the head. He was sitting in that chair, and the panic was starting to go off. He's down by well, more than 10. He's down by 25 pins almost with the 7-10, and I'm going to be out of this before I even get a chance to get my feet underneath me. And he's up 13 right now, and everything's going his way.
And again, this is that moment in the match that TJ is saying to himself, I got to get it going. But now you've got a couple other things that you see the other guy, he's on fire. Now you're thinking, okay, if I don't get it going, I could possibly lose an opportunity for a life-changing payday. So that starts to get in the back of your mind. You can't get it out of your mind. So you need to just calm down, focus.
Well, yeah, both these guys we heard in the interviews, they both have a tangible item attached to this number already.
Exactly.
Start thinking of getting distracted by about what it means. Way right.
Yeah.
Wow, 4 count.
And he knew that. TJ talking to himself and saying, that is just not what I wanted.
And again, that point in the match, you cannot have that type of action in it. You've got to throw one in the pocket. He didn't do it. Now he's paying for it.
Really tough conversion. Can he do it again?
Yeah. So he's going to open frame here in the 7th.
Firmly
and you see the body language of TJ Van Gordon as he goes back to a chair. It is. That's a 3 and out, huh, Bus?
Yeah, that is. You know, I think it's more like a fumble. Yeah, he throws.
There you see Gonzalez's road to the semifinal. Luis Gonzalez trying to keep the pressure on, and he does. I mean,
look at
ice in the veins.
And you can see him talking. He's feeling it. Oh, he's feeling it.
He averaged 250 in his first 2 matches. And he knows right there, that's the hammer.
That's like running over that safety. Like, yes, go, baby.
235 average for Luis Gonzalez out right here in Chicago. That's what TJ needed. He needed that about 2 frames ago.
Yeah.
And now all I can hope for is that Luis Gonzalez has issues.
Just say, max score we saw a minute ago, 256 for Luis. 215 is where TJ's at.
That's right. Now he's showing off.
Yeah.
That's showing
now
off.
You're just showing off, Luis
Now you're
Gonzalez.
showing off. Yeah, he's in the rhythm. He's feeling good.
Man's a shark.
Absolutely.
A little blood in the water, and he showed up with nothing but teeth.
Yes, he did.
TJ. And again, just a little opposition, Chris.
Now, from the technical side of things, that ball's going just a little bit too long. He gets it right, it gets a little behind it, and he was leaving 9 counts and going a little light. He tightens up his line a little bit, and then it snaps high on him. He just can't get away from it right now. It happens fast on TV. I've been there a few times.
It does. When every shot means so much, and, you know, once you're off, you're trying to find it, but you don't have that much time to get it back and straight, especially when your opponent is getting in the rhythm and stroking.
Our amateur champion now. He will be advancing to the final, taking a little victory lap.
Look at it.
Whew. He had to pick a spot for it. It was probably right about there.
Yep.
Chance for him to let off the pedal just a little bit.
This man's dangerous here.
He is.
He's got his feet underneath him. He's got a little rhythm. He survived those 3 early frames. Pros got their own troubles to deal with before they get there, but this man waiting on the other side is no joke.
He is. I love the way he was able to right the ship early in the match. Because you say to yourself, early in that match, it could go the wrong way.
Quickly.
And, you know, he was resilient. He stayed in it. He understood that he was bowling well. He just wasn't getting the results, and it turned around. Now look at him.
Give you credit, Chris. You said this was probably the guy to beat in the amateur section. What were you seeing from him during the early rounds that made you feel that way?
His rhythm and then his ability to match up to what we're bowling on here today. It's a pretty user-friendly pattern, but you still got to do the right things to make it strike. And his speed, rev rate, and shot repetition, you could put any professional name on his back right there and watch it go down the lane, and you wouldn't know the difference. He could. This man can bowl.
Now, as a lefty, is there a competitive advantage?
Not in this environment.
Not in this environment.
In this environment, everybody's by themselves, basically. You know, maybe over 7, 8 games, and the lanes change a lot. In this case, no.
There it is.
You see there, TJ can strike out for 195.
And those are the men waiting in the wings. Must know something about what Bowlero's putting down on oil patterns, because he came in after those first 2 frames and just slayed. There you go.
Great way to finish up. I know he's disappointed. He came in with all the excitement, the energy, looking forward to the opportunity. Got off to a great start.
Oh, yeah.
Just
folks at Lagunitas were thinking about writing a check for $1 million there.
Absolutely.
And now TJ's he's just having some fun with the fans.
Yeah. All right, he's going to try to.
So the final score, Luis Gonzalez gets it 235 to TJ Van Gorden's 192. Luis Gonzalez is moving on to face off with one of the pros. We'll have all that coming up here on the Bowlero Elite Series on NBCSN. You're invited to the most exciting all-day party in sports, the Kentucky Derby, presented by Woodford Reserve. The first Saturday in May, only on NBC, part of NBC Sports Championship season, presented by Canada Dry. Beautiful night in the Chicago area as we welcome you back to Bowlero Romeoville. Todd Harris alongside 2 Hall of Famers, of course, Chris Barnes and Jerome Bettis. All right, we just saw a very exciting amateur final, basically, Jerome. What are the amateurs? You think of Luis Gonzalez now, what would you be advised to him getting set now to face off with a pro?
My advice to him is to not think about the money. The problem he's going to have is he's used to maybe a jackpot, maybe $1,000, $2,000, maybe $5,000. He's never played for $270,000. And so for him, everything speeds up. He's going to be excited thinking about it. He cannot think about the money. Think about the game and just bowling.
Focus. Chris, you've been in this situation before as a pro, but now you've got a pro facing off an amateur. Is there pressure on them like, hey, I can't lose to an amateur?
Well, there's a lot of money for them too, and no pro is bowled for $270,000 either. And so they're going to have to also deal with all the expectations, deal with that, and then focus on what's going on. And it's right here we see Kyle Troop on his road to get here. He put together 2 monster games, first taking down Shannon O'Keefe, then taking on Sean Rash, the hometown Chicago guy. Here, Andrew Anderson, not such a hit with the ladies today. He took down superstar Daniel McEwen and she shot 255, 290, 255. Then Daria Payunk, he beat her 230 to 215 to get her.
All right, well, the pros are getting set for their match. Before we get to that, let's check in with Layla.
Todd thinks our 2 pros are ready to have some fun. Andrew Anderson and Kyle Troop. And Andrew, you told me earlier you've been waiting to face off against this guy on TV for a while, ever since January when Chris Paul had his event at a Bowlero in the Woodlands.
Yeah, I think it started before that. We've been traveling the world together, roommates for a couple years now, and we've got to watch each other in some big matches, and now we're going to have one against each other.
Okay, so $270,000 is on the line. What's the show prep here? What's the preparation?
For me, it's the same thing. Have fun, stay loose. This whole event has been, a great opportunity. The vibe has been really, really chill, really outgoing. So it fits into my, persona, myself. And, I think we're going to have a good time together. Like you said, we room together. We bowl well together. So hopefully we put on a good show.
Something tells me it's going to be a very good show, guys.
Set now for the pros semifinal round first. He's been consistent on the day, posting scores at 258 and 268. The three-time PBA Tour champion, known for being distinctive from head to toe. From Taylorsville, North Carolina, Kyle True. And he opened the day near perfect. His 290 still stands as the high score on the day. He is the reigning PBA Player of the Year from Holly, Michigan, Andrew Anderson. Kyle Troop facing off against Andrew Anderson for the right to face Luis Gonzalez in the final. $270,000 on the line.
Vision's clear now, and it's my time, and it's
To win the Bowlero Elite Series, that would be huge, for myself, my career. The money, obviously $270,000 is life-changing.
When you put anything that has over 200,000 on the line, even 100,000 on the line, that's a lot to think about. So, I mean, all of us, I'm sure, and I'm not the only one, has been thinking about what it would be like to win this event.
I would say I definitely like to bring the flair, when it comes to TV. Anytime I get under the lights, around the crowds, I definitely fuel off of that and just try and put on a show and entertain.
Bowling on TV is one of the hardest things you can do as a competitive bowler. The lights, there's people staring at you. I think it's going to be a very exciting match, but winning the event would definitely change how the rest of the year goes for me.
So we are set to go. This is the pro semifinal. Kyle Troop, the 27-year-old out of Taylorsville, North Carolina, taking on 23-year-old Andrew Anderson out of Holly, Michigan. Fans are set to go, gentlemen, and I'll tell you what, Kyle Troop brings a lot of flair. It's almost like he's got his own set of groupies that follows him to each event.
And it looks like they can't be, any more different. You know, coming out introductions, you see the energy from Kyle, but Andrew, you see he's reserved, he's more relaxed, he's calm. We'll see what happens.
It's the PBA Tour's version of the odd couple right here.
And I'll tell you this, if it was me, I would hate to have a really close friend that I'm playing against, because you want to have a little bit of anger towards the other guy just to kind of get you going. It's hard to when it's a really close friend in the seat next to you.
And if any of our players bowls a perfect game tonight, they'll be taking home $1 million, courtesy of Lagunitas Brewing Company. Life is uncertain. Don't sip.
They may be friends off the lanes, but right now, not much love lost, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, there's a lot of money on the line here tonight, and both men want a slice of that. Andrew Anderson now. Leaves one hanging.
Yeah.
Chris, talk about the different styles, of course. Troop is a two-hander.
He is a two-hander, and Andrew is a traditional one-hander. These guys actually are among the top players on Team USA in the accuracy standpoint, too, which you don't think about with a two-hander.
So it'll be Andrew Anderson for the early cleanup. No question in your mind?
No problem.
Boy, he bent that thing.
I tell you, as an amateur, I'm looking at it like, I've missed a lot of those in my day. I'm a little nervous. I need to see some break.
A little bit of difference between the user-friendly pattern here than some of the pro ones, which are a little flatter in the middle. They'll go ahead and hook at spares and use the area on the lane to make those.
Troop now in the second. Oh, Chris, you talked about it. The ball he throws, the power he throws on that thing with the two hands.
Early on in his pro career, he was kind of a specialist. He just threw it hard, which most two-handers just hook it too much and don't have enough speed. He had too much speed. This is what he likes to do most. It's only a question now of how many shots he gets before he pulls the pick out. That's his go-to move.
Because usually they have a big hook. I don't see that with him.
No, actually, the one-hander's hooking it the most.
Yes.
There you go.
And
there it is.
Anderson with a nice answer. As Troop as perfect through 2.
A little bit of that strategy because Kyle is throwing a ball with a lot of surface on it, right where Andrew was playing in the previous matches. It's making Andrew's ball hook early. He has to move more.
Kyle Troop getting past Shannon O'Keefe, and then in the second round, defeating Sean Rash. Folks at Lagunitas, they're sweating just a little bit. $1 million to the man that can throw 300 on TV.
Rare form.
And you're not just talking about the hair.
Oh.
The ball's creeping a little bit high. Watch as it goes right inside the 15th board there, right around the 3rd arrow.
Ooh. That's consistent.
It's melting through the pins right now.
On all 3 of those shots, they look the exact same. Look at that.
Andrew Anderson, perfect now the last 2.
Let me ask you a question. It looked as though he had 2 different spots on those 2 different lanes. One was a little bit more inside. That looked to be a little bit more outside. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, for him, he's got the lanes a little bit different. His ball's not going through it nearly as well.
Yeah.
The score only says 10 pins. You know, from this pro's mind, you're feeling like you got 30 pins disadvantage right now in ball reaction.
Yeah.
Ooh. Kyle Troop, 4 up, 4 down.
On the heater, watch his 2 hands. You don't get to bring the ball very far back. So that's only getting to his belt line. The amount of drive coming off that right leg into the approach, and then his upper body strength as well. It's a combination that you don't see very often without really turning sideways to create a little longer swing.
Oh.
So Anderson leaves the 10.
Wow. Looked like it was a great shot.
Second one from the right. It's going to right around the bottom of it.
Yep.
It's a really good shot, but you can see he's almost 7 boards deeper than Troop at the arrows.
Yeah.
With less rev rate. Technically as sound as it gets. This guy's lines are perfect. He's a great shot maker.
It's such a pure swing, too.
Yes.
I mean, it's just so smooth. So Andrew Anderson now sits and watches, a little frustration on his face as Kyle Troop now goes to the 5th frame. Perfect so far.
Oh. Let's pause.
Yeah, one of the graphics there kind of had switched over and caught his eye, and it just caught his attention. And for the amount that we're looking at right now,
yeah. If you're not comfortable, you don't want to let that go.
Lots of times if you're completely focused, there may be a little bit creeping in on that big number. It's very much like getting a little distracted. You get a different thought in your mind, and you got to go ahead and reset.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh! Wow.
So Troop leaves the 10, and Lagunitas is breathing a sigh of relief because another opportunity for $1 million is gone.
Identical to the shot. The 6-pin went a little higher around the 10, but it's basically a ringing 10. He got that one in a little bit. That one wasn't quite as crisp. It was certainly good enough to have a chance.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was going to say, guys, at what point, you guys have both old 300s before, at what point do you start thinking about the 300?
When he threw that one on the 4th and it went through the pins perfect, I guarantee you it was on his mind at that point.
Jerome, when you rolled your 300, at what point did you let yourself?
For me, I didn't think about it that early. It was pretty late in the when I got around the 9th frame. I said, "This is real. It can happen." I just didn't want to get beside myself.
It's like the no-hitter jinx. You don't talk about it.
That's right.
places it just perfect. So the tension broken in the room as Kyle Troop has a spare in the 5th frame, just missing out on the $1 million. We'll be back to Romeoville. This is the Bowlero Elite Series on NBCSN.
To be successful in this sport, you have to have patience.
Driven and composed.
We have to be persistent and have a love to the sport.
You need to work hard and never give up.
You have to have a great support system like my family does for me.
You need to be confident.
To sacrifice.
I got to this point by practicing and being in the gym every single day, working to be the best athlete that I could be.
To be successful in this sport, you need to be
Bold.
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 Be bold.
Welcome back to the Bowlero Elite Series. For your chance to bowl against the pros for big bucks, you must be a Bowlero League bowler, so sign up for a league at Bowlero.com at one of the 300-plus AMF Brunswick Zone Bowlero and Bowlmore centers for your chance at $1 million in prize money. And guys, look at the talent that didn't make it into the semifinals. I mean, you're talking about some of the best, Chris.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. There was some fantastic matches. Strikes coming down. You know, had to throw the first strike in the 10th. Nearly every match. And speaking of, this guy did it twice to get here.
So Kyle Troop will get things started off here after the commercial break. And there you see the max score right now, 279 to 269. And he gets right back on track.
Ooh, that was, that's what I was, yeah, you feeling good about that one.
Yeah. So this would be Kyle's miss here. He likes to throw it really hard. And when this one gets back, this is when Lugunitas is thinking.
Right.
Jerome, how does that rate celebration-wise?
Not bad. I like that. I was a little more animated. I kind of kicked the knees up a little bit.
Anderson now. And this is a critical point. Would you agree, Chris and Jerome, that he has got to keep pace and hope for some breaks?
That's right. He's got to stay on it, keep the pressure going, because any mistake by either one of these guys can be the difference maker here.
And the real difference is Kyle can be really firm, really aggressive, and he's playing his A game. And Andrew has to get a little softer, touch it, feel. He's got to feel it in the right way. And feel and pressure don't always make great partners.
Yeah.
Again.
Ooh.
So Troop feeling it. After that slight bobble, he is back on track again.
Watch how good his balance is at the top. He's really throwing it hard when he pops up like that at the end, but he's not falling off left to right. He's just coming up out of it to create speed.
Oh, and you heard Anderson talking, saying, get there.
Thing it a little bit left. Ball
Chris, he knew it as soon as it left his hand, didn't he?
He is a great shot maker, and this is too long all the time. He knows it has to get picked up. It has to make a move, and he's hoping.
He's trying to get lucky there.
He knew he needed a little bit of help.
Need a little
that
help.
time.
A Bowlero magic.
I need a little help all the time.
So Anderson cleans it up there for the spare. Got to give a shout out to the folks here at Bowlero Romeoville. They've been great. The fans have turned out. They've been so supportive of this.
This facility is amazing.
Yeah.
And they've taken care of us, I tell you what. Well, that burger, oh, goodness.
You're still feeling that, aren't you?
I'm still thinking about that burger, man.
Well, if you didn't eat half of it.
If I had enough time. See, the problem was they didn't bring it in enough time. I could have really got after that thing.
Troop is just on a tear. I tell you what, he wins this thing, he's going to be able to buy a lot behemoth burgers for Jerome and company. Luis Gonzalez, the top amateur right here in Chicago, a Bowlero League bowler, worked his way through 7 other terrific amateurs to get himself a spot to face off against one of these men. And guys, it's looking more and more like it's going to be Kyle Troop. Just when you thought he might be out of it, he pulls out his own pick.
There's a pick. Didn't need a little help.
That's two different bowling styles, two different hairstyles. Come on.
Watch this head. Headpin comes back and hits the 4, actually, and knocks it across the lane.
Oh, buddy.
The rarest
of
bird dogs
pick it
right
out.
there.
Pick it out.
He's not touching
Pick
that
it
hair,
out.
dude. That thing has been...
That's Ron Burgundy.
Pomade right
That's
there.
Ron
That
Burgundy solid.
Pick it out.
All right, we move on to the 9th now. Near flawless match so far for Kyle Troop. Guys, I mean, almost robotic.
I think that
He's
was,
feeling it.
He is. That was one of his best balls right there. I mean, right when you had to have it where, the match is kind of in the balance.
Yeah.
And he took advantage of it.
Not letting off.
Just a couple right of what we saw earlier in the match.
Yeah.
He's picked up his speed, and he's got his roll going a little bit more forward, so it doesn't try and hook as much down lane, just allowing him to go high flush almost every shot now. Same thing, too long.
Oh, this time he doesn't get the kick onto the 7. Andrew Anderson not getting the breaks he got in the early rounds.
Everything going left. 5 pin goes behind it. The head pin goes and lays there in the gutter.
Saying, come on, give me some help.
Come on.
Anderson cleans that up, and we move now to the 10th with Kyle Troop feeling, Chris, I'd say pretty good about his chances.
Yeah, it's not completely mathematically eliminated yet. He does need some pins here, but not very many, and he's nowhere close to the gutter. So
Right. He's in perfect form right now.
Oh.
that was what I was worried about early in the match when he was going a little bit. It looked like it was 1 degree high, and then he made a little change with his hand, got it to roll a little bit more, and then that
He's kind of built himself in a little cushion, hasn't he? I mean, he can afford a little mistake here and there.
Yeah.
Cleans that up, so no empty frame for him.
He will be advancing.
Yeah, that mark is pretty much all he needed, right?
Yeah, max score for Andrew Anderson's 228, and Kyle, as you can see, has already got that covered in the 9th frame. So this is nothing but a practice ball. He can decide whether he wants to move a little left off that shot and to where there's a little bit more oil in his laydown, or just throw it harder.
Oh, looked like he decided to throw it harder.
Glad he saved that for last.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Troop at 256, and you talked about the max score for Andrew Anderson. This is similar to what we saw in the semifinal of the amateurs, where Luis Gonzalez had issues early on, but stayed the course and came back strong in that third frame and was able to get past TJ.
That was a great show of sportsmanship there for Andrew. Really kind of conceding to Kyle that it was over. Two guys that are really good friends. This is the hard part.
Well, only for one of them.
Yes, only for one of them. You're right. You're right. And it's still tough for for Kyle, because obviously, he wants to have a little bit of humility. He doesn't want to put it on him yet.
Fans here, Bowlero, appreciating both of them. Just wasn't Andrew Anderson's day, as Kyle Troop takes the victory with that 256 over Andrew Anderson's 214. So Troop is moving on, and the final is set with $270,000 on the line. Kyle Troop will take on Luis Gonzalez from right here in Chicago. Bowlero Romeoville will be the site with a lot of prize money on the line. You won't want to miss what's coming up next. It's the Celebrity Bowl-Off. Bettis versus Barnes. PBA versus NFL Hall of Famers. The biggest show in town. Stay with us here on NBCSN.
Welcome back to Romeoville, just outside of Chicago. The Bowlero Elite Series now presents the Celebrity Bowl-Off. It's Hall of Famer versus Hall of Famer. The NFL versus the PBA. Gentlemen, it'll be 3 frames. Winner takes it all. Introducing first, the PBA Rookie of the Year in 1998, Player of the Year in 2008, with 19 titles to his credit, PBA Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. And the halfback, known as the Bus, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a 6-time Pro Bowl selection, a Super Bowl champion, a PBA Celebrity Hall of Famer. He is the NFL Hall of Famer, Jerome Bettis.
All right.
All right, boss.
Have a good one.
You too.
Not too good.
Yeah.
Not too good. Just good enough to come in second place.
Uh-huh. About to treat you like you treated strong safety.
See, that was wrong. That was wrong, Chris. That comment, I think you got me out of my game there.
That comment led to that karma right there.
And the sad part is, you know, it's like, oh, you didn't get off to a great start. I was hoping to take advantage of that.
Oh, it's pretty lucky I didn't split right there. I knew you were cheering for me.
I'm not going to say I was hoping that you split, you know, but it wouldn't have been a bad thing. Good job. All right. Let's see. Get a crack at it.
I love the concentration of you two in this moment.
Yeah. Slide. Oh! And I put it in there. Oh, that was, that changed the match right there. I put it in the pocket. Oh, man, goodness. That was it. Look at that. Look at that one. Oh, give me the kick.
It's close to the gutter. You
oh, no, look at it. See, that was going to set the stage. Hey. There we go.
Made it just like a pro.
A lot of people don't realize how difficult that 10 pin is.
Keeping your balance looked like it was difficult there a little bit.
I know, I struggle with my balance.
Good job. Good boy. You gotta make you earn it.
Yeah, that is the truth.
A little better than the first effort.
You put it right where you're supposed to put it. Oh, I'm slipping. Oh, I'm sticking. I'm slipping. I was sticking. Something sticking up there. Gosh. That wasn't pretty.
You need to do this so you show off a little bit.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Boy.
It's gonna have to go a little.
Yeah. Didn't turn like I wanted it to. Tough break. No fun.
For that unorthodox approach of hitting the 2-pin in the wall back into the 4 over this 10. It's a little more, it's a little tougher that way.
Of course, that was the icing on the cake, of course.
Just lucky. Luck of the Irish, you know?
At least finish up strong. There it is. At least I got a little break. At least I got one. That's right. Now, I get to take you to the football field. Need a little help there. So he got a chance to beat me on lanes. I'm taking him to the field next.
No, nobody told me about this.
That's right. That's right. See, I got some cleats for you right over there. No, I'm going to get you on the football field.
Thank you. All right.
Great job. Ah.
Sideshow's out of the way. The real guys are up next.
The Bowlero Centers number more than 300 locations nationwide, and you're always within striking distance of an epic night out of family fun. From arcades to birthday parties or corporate events to league play, find a center near you at Bowlero.com. Go to Bowlero.com and book your party online in minutes. What better way to talk about parties at Bowlero than with a few trophies here for our winners? And I'd say you two both, because you provided so much entertainment, both won. So we have the Mega Coney Dog. We have the actual trophy that's going to the winner of the final, by the way. And we have a pizza cake. Jerome, I know you had the burger earlier.
You know what? My job is to be the official taste tester. So I've heard of deep dish, but this is like unbelievable. Unrealistic. I got to at least try it.
I mean, just
gosh.
slices right in.
Oh, my goodness.
See,
Love
it's not
that
just to
one.
the victor
Oh.
goes the spoils here.
Pizza
It's really not.
cake. Pizza cake. You can, oh, look at that.
Layers like a cake.
I mean, I've got to try it. It's only right.
You know, I was going to ask them about the upcoming final match between Luis Gonzalez and Kyle Troop here, but we have a lot of celebration going on, and this looks familiar. Should we flash back to the form on the burger? These are the party items you can get here at Bowlero. At any of the Bowlero centers nationwide.
Unbelievable.
All right, Chris is laughing. How would you grade the form that Jerome had on both those items?
It's very smooth. It's very practiced. I think his 10,000 hours of perfection have been attained.
They don't call me the bus because I was scared to eat. That's the thing.
Fair point. Okay, so as we're enjoying this, just your quick thoughts on the upcoming final, because we have two guys who are really in a groove right now.
Yeah, as an amateur, you know, this is what you've hoped for all your life. You watch the pros on television, and you say to yourself, I think I'm as good as one of these guys. Now you get a chance to test your mettle. You get a chance to see how good you are against one of the best guys in the world. Now you just got to go out and do it.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis has a game under his belt. I've been in this position as an amateur. He's not as intimidated as maybe people think he is right now. He can and he can throw a bunch of strikes too. I think this is going to be a great match.
It is.
It is. The lights are on. The crowd is fired up. The Mega Coney Dog pizza cake are ready. We have an epic final coming up from this inaugural match of the Bowlero Elite Series.
Back to Romeoville, Illinois. A special thank you to the Bowlero team led by Tom Shannon, the CEO of Bowlero Corp, and Paulie Edison, the president of the Elite Series. And we can't forget about Chris Adelbeni, who has been instrumental in helping us all week long. Right now, let's check in with Layla.
Luis Gonzalez, the amateur, getting ready to face the pro. The pressure, the lights, what's going through your mind as you get ready for this moment?
Just stay focused, stay calm. Just one shot at a time. I mean, that's all I can do. Stay in the moment.
Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for the Romeoville Bowlero Elite Series final round. Introducing first, calm, cool, and dominant throughout the amateur bracket. We welcome back Chicago's very own Bowlero League bowler, Luis Gonzalez.
Kyle, you had nearly a dominant match, almost perfect to start. You've got $270,000 on the line. What's going through your mind?
Just trying to take it one frame at a time. This stage right now, the amount of money we're bowling for, that's a lot whenever you stop to think about it. All I'm trying to do is throw 5 good shots on each lane, and I feel like if I do that, then I'll come away with all that money.
Kyle, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
And now, his opponent, the pro, a Team USA member with that trademark look and style. Once again, this is Kyle Troop.
is on the line from Romeoville, Illinois. It'll be Kyle Troop taking on Luis Gonzalez for $270,000 here on NBCSN. And then there were two. We are down to the final here in Romeoville, Illinois, Chicagoland, and the Bowlero Elite Series. Todd Harris, Layla Rahimi, alongside the two Hall of Famers, Chris Barnes and Jerome Bettis. One amateur, one pro, with a lot of money, gentlemen, on the line. Luis Gonzalez has already secured himself at least $80,000 for being the top amateur, and he will go toe-to-toe with one of the best in the business in Kyle Troop. For Luis Gonzalez. If any of our players bowls a perfect game tonight, they'll be taking home $1 million courtesy of Lagunitas Brewing Company. Life is uncertain. Don't sip. Well, we saw the kind of start that Kyle Troop got off to, guys, in the professional semifinals. Perfect through 4. Nice start.
He found it there. Wow.
Jerome, could you see a bigger contrast between two players, from the hair to the throwing style, everything across the board? These guys are completely opposite.
Completely different personalities, completely different styles. Well, I guess really, you know, they're high speed, high rev rate, but right-handed, left-handed.
Gonzalez getting through TP here into the final.
Looking good.
And the 32-year-old out of Chicago off to a great start.
And as an amateur, you say to yourself, you know what? I'm playing with house money right now.
Yeah.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime for me. I get this. I'm on this stage. Let me take advantage of it.
Super impressed by how he came out those first 2 shots.
Yes.
And Troop leaves 2 standing. Jerome, I guess if you're going to give advice to Luis Gonzalez, you got to say, hey, this guy puts his colorful pants on one leg at a time, just like me.
Absolutely. You say, hey, this is what you've been dreaming about.
Yeah.
Go out there and let it loose, and don't have any, reservations.
Yeah.
Just go play.
Nice pickup by Troop.
But Jerome and I have noticed he struggled a little bit in practice. Kyle, right at the end of that game, had a couple shots go high. And in practice, he had a little of the same thing. He had him going really high and then making moves and going light.
Yeah.
He hasn't quite figured out what the key is here.
And you don't want to let Luis get away from you. Right now, he's stroking it. He's looking really good.
And the Bowlero League players coming out hot.
It looks like it's on a string, and he's all 3 shots looking really good.
His wife Elisa in the crowd.
Perfect prior to the 8th board, going out to about the 5th board. Roaring back in.
Impressive, really impressive.
Had to have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great point.
Not only for the score, Chris, but for his own mojo.
Yeah, really, there's a long way to go yet in theory, but you can't let somebody that's striking as much as Luis get 40 pins ahead, get 2 misses ahead.
As much as this is a physical game, it's a mind game as well. You don't want your opponent to feel as though he can stay comfortable in the moment.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Yeah. He left it out there.
Yeah, he knew it right when it left his hand.
Yeah.
Heard him say, oh no.
Yeah. He's saying thanks. Thank you. Could have been a lot worse.
Certainly a 3-7 there flips this whole thing upside down.
It does.
And gives Kyle a little bit of room to make an adjustment, which he has coming up on this left lane.
Ewan's feeling good right now. Logging in his brewing company.
Yes, they are.
$1 million is not going to be paid out here tonight for the perfect game as they survive here in the championship. That'll roll over to the next show coming up in September.
Give some bowlers a chance, an opportunity to join a Bowlero league and become eligible.
Come on. Kyle Troop, big velocity.
Yeah.
He's certainly happy about that, and that was a positive reinforcement that the movie made was right, but it ain't quite the same walk that he had at first match.
Chris, how big is this frame for Luis Gonzalez now?
He's got to get right back up and get on it. Going into the commercial break, you want to be on a good note.
Bus, you didn't like that early on, did you?
Yeah, he left it out there a little bit. He got some action there with the pins, and so big benefit for him. Look at him. He's saying no.
That's about as much emotion as you'll see from him.
Exactly.
That was basically a hair pick and a dance, and that's the equivalent of Kyle Troop, basically.
Troop answers right back. We've got ourselves a championship match through 5. Kyle Troop taking on the top amateur, Luis Gonzalez, with more than $250,000 on the line here at the Bowlero Elite Series on NBCSN.
When the crowd starts to cheer now, and we here now, vision's clear now, and it's my time.
Welcome back to the Bowlero Elite Series. For your chance to bowl against the pros for big bucks, you must be a Bowlero League bowler. So sign up for a league at Bowlero.com at one of the 300-plus AMF Brunswick Zone, Bowlero, and Bowlmore centers for your chance at $1 million in prize money. So you take a look at the bracket, the pros and the amateurs, and we are down to the final 2. Kyle Troop, the pro, Luis Gonzalez, the amateur. But right now, guys, he is bowling like a pro, Chris.
Yeah, he's been great this whole tournament. These guys have the 2 highest averages so far throughout the event. As you can see right now, it's a 1-pin game, 5 frames for all the money.
Just to see the confidence oozing out of Luis. You know, he's an amateur, but he's feeling comfortable in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask for.
$270,000 to the winner of this match. Gonzalez from right here in Chicagoland, the 32-year-old. He's the 10, but he seems awfully comfortable in these lanes.
Yeah, he kind of did it again there. He got it out. He got it out a little too far. It wasn't as far as the last one, so it got a chance to get back. But as you can see, the road that Luis took to get here, just monster scores all the way around. He did have to throw the first one, the 10th, in the second round to beat Kara.
No thing. Ain't no thing right there, Jerome Bettis.
That's it. That's what you got to do. You came here, you got an opportunity, take advantage of it. And that's what he's doing.
I'm really impressed with his spare game. I mean, there's been no doubters. He's not hooking at him or anything there. But, you know, this guy's a complete player.
Ooh, and Kyle Troop in the 6th runs into a little bit of trouble.
Unbelievable.
You see it goes a little bit high here. The 2-pin goes right around the 4 for the 4-9. He'd certainly rather have just left a 4-pin than all the rest of that there.
He looked right over at Jerome Bettis and said, "Bus, what should I do?" He looked right at the bus. open frame for Kyle Troop in the 6th.
Needed to be a little further left there. Got to cut the left side of that.
Just to give himself a chance.
Yeah. Alongside the two Hall of Famers, Chris Barnes and Jerome Bettis, I'm Todd Harris. We've also got Layla Rahimi with us, and this is Luis Gonzalez, the top amateur here at the Bowlero Elite Series. First stop. All right, got to ask you, Chris, these guys have been bowling a lot over the last 2 days. Is fatigue starting to set in, do you think?
No, it's not fatigue. It's the finish line in sight and what's waiting for you on the other side.
Absolutely.
He's lots of pressure going on. These guys can feel it.
And his spare game's been money, though, huh, Jerome?
It has. He's been right on target every single opportunity. He's not faltering, and that's what you would want to see from an amateur. You want to make sure that you have a chance in the later.
Yeah, speaking of money, 270 grand to the winner, 80 to the runner-up. Late action for Troop.
Here comes the pick.
There it is.
All right.
Pivotal moment in the match.
Head pin.
Look
Watch
at
it
this
come
late.
flying across.
He needed that.
After that 4-9, the one thing you will not see the rest of the way is something going down there slow.
Yeah.
It's going to have some heat on it from here on out. See the max score, 248, 246. This one's coming down to the final shot.
And Gonzalez answers right back.
Great shot.
That's big. I mean, that's striking after the pick comes out. Come on.
It leaves him in control of his own destiny there, no matter what Kyle does. If he strikes out,
he's showing some moxie.
Wins.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this time he doesn't get the love on the 10.
Unbelievable. He put it in there.
This speed and this rev rate. Watch the 6-pin.
Look at
Goes in
that.
the gutter. Doesn't pop back out. Nothing comes back across. Look at those eyes. You think he didn't know that was a big shot?
Yes, he did.
And he threw it good, too. That's what he wanted to do.
So he gets the spare. The pick stays in the pocket. And as you said, Luis Gonzalez now, as an amateur, in control. Yeah, Troop would equal his career earnings tonight if he gets that check.
Get all in, double up right there.
For Luis, this is the frame. He can take advantage and take control of the match right here.
Clutch.
Yes, he did.
Clutch Gonzalez. Same reaction he has when he gets a spare or a strike. He just goes right back to his chair.
But he's got to be careful. This is that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can see it starting to happen. You've got to kind of relax and understand that it's not over until it's over.
It's not. It's not at all. But I tell you what, that one was pure. I got chills on that one.
It was.
Oh. What it does do is it forces Kyle to get all the rest to have any chance.
Yeah. There it is.
The amateur may be in control, but Troop says, you know, I'm the pro. Shows his class there in that frame.
I'm honestly almost a little surprised there wasn't more reaction, something louder, some kind of message there. Because if you're going to pull one out, that's the time you pull it out. Raise the intensity. I don't know if you can make the intensity any higher than what we have coming up here. One shot, one strike, $270,000.
No pressure.
Not at all.
Strike to win.
Unbelievable. And he knew it as soon as it left his hand. I tell you what, as an amateur, to go out there in that spot and to know you have an opportunity to do it and get it done.
His wife saying 270, 270.
That's enough.
Kyle Troop recognizes it.
A little bit high here, but the only way that anything bad could have happened is that he only needed 5 on that shot to lock it up, so he's going to hit the head pin.
Yeah. He knows it's over.
Yeah, he doesn't need an abacus to figure this one out.
Yeah, he knows it's over.
He's been class, guys. You got to give it up to the amateur. He has been class. Luis Gonzalez, the 32-year-old from right here in Chicagoland.
This is you. Your moment, baby. Go get it.
His wife, Elisa.
Well, it just comes down to a couple of shots, and both of them are on this left lane. He had a 4-9 there in the 6th coming out of the commercial break.
Yep.
Made a little move off it, flat 10.
He's not going home empty-handed. I mean, let's make it clear. He's walking out of here with 80 grand.
It's going to be his biggest payday to date. And if it weren't for the disappointment of what was laying there on the table.
Absolutely.
Classy end.
And also, you have to know that going forward, the guys are going to give him some crap. You know, it's just like in the locker room.
You think?
Oh, he's going to get... You let that amateur beat you? How could you do that? With all that money on the line?
Kyle Troop takes a bow with one more strike. But Chris, you said that turning point there after the commercial break where Gonzalez really stepped up and showed his moxie.
Yeah. That's for you. Thank you. Love you. Thank you, Storm. Best products. Thank my fans, my family. Say hey. Say hey. No, this way. This way. This way, baby. Say hi. Give me a high five. Yeah.
Luis Gonzalez, the Bowlero Elite Series champion, comes through the amateur ranks, takes down one of the top pros in Kyle Troop. And guys, he did it in convincing fashion. After that commercial break, he left no doubt.
Yeah, no gifts there, no luck, no. He earned it all the way.
He earned it, and it was a dream come true.
He can afford a lot of behemoth burgers with Jerome Bettis tonight. $270,000 richer. The Bowlero Elite Series champion, 32-year-old Luis Gonzalez, will be back to wrap things up from Romeoville, Illinois after this.
To be successful in this sport, you have to have patience.
Driven and composed.
We have to be persistent and have a love to the sport.
You need to work hard and never give up.
You have to have a great support system like my family does for me.
You need to be confident.
To sacrifice.
I got to this point by practicing and being in the gym every single day, working to be the best athlete that I could be.
To be successful in this sport, you need to be
Bold.
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 Be bold.
Welcome back to the Bowlero Elite Series. He may be an amateur in title only, but Luis Gonzalez takes the win tonight, taking down Kyle Troop and the $270,000. Right now, we send it over to Layla Rahimi.
Todd, thank you. I am joined by Tom Shannon, the CEO and president of Bowlero Corp., and Coley Edison, who is the president of the Bowlero Elite Series. And we start with a runner-up, but still pretty big payday for you, Kyle Troop. $80,000 as the runner-up and the winner of the professional bracket. What did it mean to you to be a part of this event, something so special, pros against amateurs?
To be a part of the first event, the first Bowlero Elite Series, it's very special. You know, this is groundbreaking for the sport of bowling. I just want to take a moment, thank Bowlero for putting this on. They did a fantastic job. You know, this is going to be confidence for me rolling forward, but, you know, the man of the hour is standing next to me, and he deserves the limelight. He bowled great all week.
You guys put on such a good show. Congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Kyle Troop taking home $80,000 as the runner-up. And now, once again, Coley and Tom here to present what is considered life-changing money for Luis Gonzalez as the winner of the inaugural Bowlero Elite Series, $270,000. And Tom Shannon with the trophy as well. Tom, I know this trophy is over 30 pounds. You think he should try it out and see how heavy it is for himself? We'll set the check down.
There you go.
Get a hold of the trophy.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And you've been bowling all day, so you can set it down if you want, because I'm going to ask you a couple questions. So you said, Luis, that this is something that honors your dad, to bowl with your son every week like you did with your late father. How was he in your memory when all this was going on?
I just kept telling him, just give me one more game, one shot at a time, help me through this, and I think he did.
To have your family here, all from the Chicagoland area, and this atmosphere, life-changing money, you said. How do you put it into words, knowing what this is going to mean to you?
I can't even put it into words. I have no words right now, but it's awesome. Like, I don't even know what to say right now.
Well, you've got a good support system behind you, and we want to congratulate you once again for winning the inaugural Bowlero Elite Series. Congratulations, Louis.
Thank you.
Todd.
All right, thank you very much, Layla. The first Bowlero Elite Series event comes to a conclusion here in Chicagoland. Congratulations to both Kyle Troop and Luis Gonzalez. And Chris, I'll start with you. Final thoughts on what we just saw.
Yeah, fantastic competition. There were some great shots and great moments in Luis Gonzalez. What can you say? Man, those last 5 frames, he came with all of it. He came with his best when it mattered the most.
Jerome, he was big time, wasn't he?
Oh, he was huge, and he is my hero. Luis Gonzalez for president, he's my hero right now, because every amateur, he's looking at this, and he's saying to himself, guys, I can do this. I can get it done, because now they know that they have a chance to win life-changing money in this opportunity. I might even think about a run at it. This kind of money with this opportunity, I know I'm maybe not as good as Luis, but guess what? He's giving everybody an opportunity.
Bowlero.com. Jerome Bettis may be signing up here for the next event.
I might have sent the video. I'm sending the video.
Luis Gonzalez, money from the very start. He had to get to the amateur rounds to get to the final against TJ Van Gordon. Dispatched of him, and then it was on to face off with Kyle Troop. But guys, he was clutch. Remember how he had his problems in the first 2 frames against TJ Van Gordon? It didn't rattle him.
It did not. He stayed in it. He got composed and came back out and went to work.
And then in the final against a pro of Kyle Troop's stature with $270,000 on the line, Chris.
Just shot after shot. He put it on the money. He had one bad one get away from him. He didn't let it rattle him again. Came right back. Kept all the pressure on Kyle, and Kyle couldn't get there.
Congratulations once again to Luis Gonzalez, the 32-year-old pharmacy technician. Picks up a check tonight for $270,000. I got to ask you, going forward, is something like this, do you think, going to gain traction, not only with the amateurs, but with the pros?
Well, it's certainly going to get people's attention. Everybody's going to want to swing at this kind of $270,000. That's a lot of scratch.
270?
Life-changing, and Chris might actually see Luis a little bit more than he may want to, because this may propel him to want to think about going pro and fighting him on a daily basis. So he might not like that.
Guys, we had a lot of fun, and I gotta say, my favorite moment of the night, it was Jerome Bettis and his culinary feast. The culinary feast that was the behemoth. Look at this. Buzz, you made quick work of that bad boy.
That was, oh, that was good.
That was
good.
Cake.
That was good. But like I said, you know what? I'm not afraid to eat. It may be a shortcoming, but I'm not afraid to eat.
Wow, you still got it, my friend. Guys, a lot of fun. Jerome, Chris, it was a blast.
Appreciate it.
And thank you for joining us for the first event of the Bowlero Elite Series here from Chicagoland. Congratulations once again to Luis Gonzalez taking home the win and the $270,000. He has captured the first Bowlero Elite Series title, and we'll be back in September for our second event of this great series. For Layla Rahibi, Chris Barnes, Jerome Bettis, and our entire crew, I'm Todd Harris. Good night from Bowlero, Romeoville.